What are the three things, in brief, you can give the three things that you feel that you can advise companies, in their road ahead for international expansion?
I think it was Leo Tolstoy who once said, what counts in making a happy marriage is not how compatible two people are, but how they deal with incompatibility. So I think it's very important to recognize that the terrain can be quite different. You have to start with a clear rationale and a clear objective. If you're not clear as to why you're going international, as Dr. Sharma said, most of us don't have a choice, but it's really important to understand your basis of competitiveness. I think it's very important to create the process for integration. You should be clear as to how much you want to integrate, how you want to manage all of our operations. And then the third lesson is expect the unexpected.
Well, it's a difficult journey, so you got to put your best people in it. At the same time, you got to allow them to be pardoned for some intelligent mistakes, because there will be mistakes when you start this journey. Second thing is, we've got to look at an international benchmark for all of ourselves, because like what happened to the Indian team when they went on the bouncy wickets, it takes time for our young talent to get acclimatized. And if it's IPL, you can bring straight away the international talent into the team, but when you go as India Incorporated. But we need to get those laterals in who have more experience working there, playing there. So you need a cross-cultural team for sure. You can't build it organically from a human chain of only Indian talent. And thirdly, I think you need, this is what Mr. Nayak says always, but to kill a lion, you have to, a goat, you have to prepare for a lion. So basically, you have to put that extra resources right up front, which means initially maybe the domestic business has to some way, be a little kind to the international business in terms of giving resources, giving a lot of support, and I wouldn't say subsidize, but being able to sort of afford that this international business has even the better resources in terms of larger numbers.
I guess the three things I just want to summarize is, if you look at the number of multinational companies today globally, over the last couple of decades, it's grown 3 times, from some 35,000 odd to close to over 100,000 companies. So which means that competition is increasing in every market, including India. And therefore, I think internationalization is necessary today. So that's the first point I'd make. Specifically when it comes to Indian companies, we are not leveraging mergers and acquisitions adequately for our international growth. So even if we compare with the Asian companies, they're probably putting about 50% of their total internationalization dollars into mergers and acquisition. Indian companies are putting only about 1/3. So I think there clearly is a potential for improving how much more we look at mergers and acquisitions in a sensible way. And lastly, I'd say the reason it's not happening is at some level there is a lack of confidence. I think Indian companies just now need to be more confident in going globally and owning some of the markets moving forward.
Okay, Satish, what would you say 3 points?
For us, where it's more of initial big steps, I'll call it. I think the first one is, I won't call it centralized. I'm saying, like right now, the international operation reports only to me. So in a way, not that I'm any smarter than anyone, but it cuts across all bureaucracy. So any decisions required on the spot, I want to hire, this is the salary structure, I want to do this way, that way. It gets done fast because there's very little to come across the, I think that support is very important, including what you said. We have, for example, an R&D setup, which is common for everything we need, domestic, international. How will you decide on the numbers? Because every time you're talking on fledgling thing, you need to support it. So that's why the decision making is very important. So be adaptable, flexible, because you're going to learn a lot of things. And I would even go one step more. We have been willing to take a bit of risk. So a bit of risk is required because learning curves have to be very fast.
If you look at the project companies, it's important really that wherever you are entering, you understand that market. I think the market intelligence, understanding that country, each country is very different. I think that understanding is very important, or you can make mistakes again. Secondly, you must have a very focused approach. I mean, you just cannot go here and there. If you're targeting that country, then really target, focus that one. Thirdly, you must be prepared for failure. So you must have enough deep pocket that at least 1 year, 2 year you fail. Just cannot run away because you have failed. I think that also is important because when you're entering a country, you must enter with the intention that maybe you will not succeed in first year, succeed in second year. And to that extent, you must have your leveraging right. Otherwise, you get stuck there itself.
For me, I think people's strategy is in the center stage of globalization. It includes, right capabilities. It includes performance standards, performance measurement, and above all, it includes culture and leadership. Second, I would say, is technology. I think we no more can live in a world where we can say, oh, no, this technology is okay for us. We don't want to invest more than. I think it has to be nothing but world class. And all of us who are wanting to get into global arena, I think we have to invest big time in technology and use that as a differentiator. And lastly, I would say governance, whether it's regulatory, whether it is, the respect to stock exchanges, the transparency level, the disclosure levels. I think they have to be of international standard.
Okay, so there are many important themes that are coming for companies going global, cross-pollination, building an operating model. And the most important is be more confident. So thank you gentlemen for joining us.
Thank you.